Hello and welcome back to my channel. I've had a really nice week this week. It's been a busy week and a bit late putting the vlog up today because my cameraman has been missing, but he's home now, so we can crack on. I'm going to go straight to what my result was for this week, which is I think what a lot of you will be interested in. I did what I said I would do this week. After eating my 112.5 sins worth of peanut butter M&Ms last Saturday night, which was planned, I on Sunday morning got up and went back to my regular plan, which is 1 or 2 A choices, 1 or 2 B choices and 5 to 10 sins. I actually had 1 A and 1 B Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, because we were doing more walking, I had 2 A choices and 2 B choices each day because it fuels my walking better. If I'm going to burn more calories, I need to fuel that, otherwise I come out feeling like a limp rag. So what result did I get this week? Well, I got on scales this morning and got a £0.5 loss, which is the £0.5 I put on last week. So I'm right back to my 9 stone 7.5, which seems to be a nice average weight for me. I seem to hover around that quite nicely. That has me, I'm trying to think, 6.5 pounds under target, which is fine. Still paying for group, still don't resent it. Really happy to do that. So a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to show you the result in my book because I feel I never do that and I could be waffling and telling you anything. So I'll ask Joe to get that in a screenshot and you can see my result for this week, 22nd of April. So it's a £0.5 loss. Thanks, darling.
Okay.
And I've turned it over now, that way?
Yeah, that way.
I wanted to show you this. This is a sample of the new weight loss certificates that will be coming through at Slimming World. This is a half stone weight loss. It's not mine, it's just one to show you. They've gone from being landscape to being portrait, and I think they've got a bit more bling about them, a bit of stars and awesome achievements and what have you. And of course they'll all be different colours. This one's the pink, I think, isn't it? Somebody in group did say, oh, I'm going for my 5.5 stone award, and when I get it, it might not match my others. And our group leader is such an angel. She said, if that bothers you, I'll rewrite the lot for you. But I think these are just going to be slowly filtered in as consultants use up their old stock. But yeah, there's just a little sight of it for you. And something else that's coming in 6 weeks' time is a new journal. So it'll be the summer journal for Slimming World, which eventually will be on sale at £4.95, but will be sold or given away with a 12-week countdown initially, and that starts in 6 weeks' time. And I believe the title on the journal is something like Every Summer Tells a Story, and This Is Yours. So I thought, well, what a nice idea if you take the 12 weeks of the summer. And looking back, I can think of some awful summers I had when I was morbidly obese. But to take a journal for the 12 weeks of the summer that you can then look back on at the end of the summer and see how far you've come and the changes you've made in the summer, I think will be quite a nice experience. So yeah, they come in 6 weeks with a 12-week countdown, and then they will be on sale in the shop at £4.95. As usual, I've given Joe a few little headings, things I wanted to remember to talk about. Don't have too much to say today because we're short on time, but what was my next heading, Joe?
Did you already say your mileage?
Oh no, missed that. My mileage this week was up a fraction at 32.62 miles. I think that's up about 5 miles on what I've been doing in the last month. So we had some good walks this week, didn't we?
Yeah, plenty of hills.
Plenty of hills. We found some really good steep ones, and because Joe's 6 foot to my 5'2" and has a longer stride than me and doesn't drop his pace to go up hills because he's fit, believe me, I'm puffing sometimes by the top of them, but I actually feel it does me more good than a longer walk on the flat. It certainly seems to get my heart rate going better, and my resting heart rate is really good now at I think 57, which I'm happy with. So yeah, it's been good. We've done some cracking hills this week. Next subject?
Bra.
Oh. we were in town on Thursday and I dragged Joe into Bravissimo. Now fortunately they have a nice lounge area where you can leave your gentleman and off you go to a lovely private room to get fitted. Now I don't know, lots of you will have experienced Bravissimo, but for those who haven't, it's a pleasant experience because nobody comes anywhere near you with a tape measure. They just look you up and down and then they tell you what size you are. Now I think I started my journey at something like a 42H, 42HH or something in that way. And I've shared in my videos before, at that time all I could get was some bras called, can't think what they were called now, it's gone right out of my head. Anyway, there was something like my grandma used to wear, Triumph Doreen. Something like my grandma used to wear, nothing that I should have been wearing at my young age. And now I go into Bravissimo because of all the other places that I've tried, John Lewis and Marks and Spencer's and that, they never measure me right. So go into Bravissimo, lovely young lady, look you up and down in a private room and tell you what size you are. And I said, I think I need a refit. And she looked at me and she said, you certainly do, you've changed cup size and you've changed back size. So where I was wearing a 36 double G, she looked at me, assessed me, and she said, you're a 34 double F. So then you go through the performance of bring me as many bras as you can find in as many pretty colours as you've got, and you try them all on. And I could stay there all day, honestly. Anyway, what I want to tell you, and some of you girls will get this, why is it that you can have two boobs that are still too big but different sizes? Because I seem to have a G. No, I don't have Fs now, don't I? I seem to have an F and a double F. And I just kind of got the giggles because most of the bras I was trying on, you could see immediately the difference. Joe, just ignore this, it's not for you really. You could see the difference. And I thought, even when you've lost 12.5 stone, you know, it's more obvious now than it was when I was 12.5 stone heavier. So I kind of wanted to get a fit of the giggles because I'm thinking, what could F and double F stand for, you know? It certainly don't stand for firm these days, that's for sure. But I think the next invention should be, they can go up to J cups and things like that in Bravissimo now. But I think somebody should devise a bra that you can have sort of constructed with two different cup sizes, because it certainly fits a lot better. Because where I find one fits on one side, it's too big on the other. Fits on the other side, it's too tight on that side. So if anybody out there is any good with these sort of things, could somebody please invent a bra that you can actually go in, be measured, and they'll make you one that actually fits your odd-sized boobs, because that would be a bonus. So yeah, that was my experience at Bravissimo this week. Came out with 2 new bras. Could have come out with 20. They had so much beautiful choice. So back to things that are suitable for all sexes. Joe, what's next?
Hands up.
Yeah, smashing group meeting this morning. I always say that about my group. It's one of the most positive places to be. Before we went into the image therapy session where Naomi goes around the room and talks about who's lost what and whatever, and in my meeting I want to stress that if you don't want to talk about your loss or your gain, or for some reason you're feeling pretty emotional that week or whatever, you can just say pass, or just literally speak to Naomi before the group, or just literally shake your head as she comes to you. She moves on discreetly. Nobody is ever forced to talk about anything they're uncomfortable with. And for some people, you know, we can have a gain and we can talk about it quite freely. We don't have the same emotional build-ups that others have. For some people it can be a very emotional thing because there may be a reason behind that gain, that's something big that's happened in their life that week. And I wouldn't like anybody to be watching my videos and I'm talking about going around the room and sharing your weight loss or your weight gain or whatever, and for anybody to feel bad and think I couldn't sit in a group and do that. You don't have to. You really don't have to. But Naomi went round the meeting this morning, but before she started, she said, I'm really conscious this week that some of you don't look happy, and it is usually a vibrant, happy group. she said, I'm going to say, put your hand up if you're happy with your result this week. And about a third of the room put their hand up. Now she said, I'm going to say, put your hand up if you're not happy with your result this week. And more people put their hands up. So she said, right, coming back to the group, is anybody prepared to share why they're happy with their results this week? A young lady sitting over to my right said, yeah, I'm happy. I've had a £1 gain after 2 weeks holiday. And I haven't been 100% off plan, but I haven't been 100% on plan. But what I am grateful for is that for the first time in a lot of years, I've been on holiday and I've made better choices because I could, because Slimming World has taught me how. So that was a real positive. And then she came to me, she said, Jane, why are you happy with your result this week? And I said, well, I'm happy with my result this week because I had a plan and I stuck to it and it got me a £0.5 weight loss. Now she knew about my peanut butter M&Ms, and so she said, share with the group the story about your peanut butter M&Ms. And I wasn't going to because I didn't think it was a fair thing to do, because I don't like it when people sit there and list. Oh, I had a takeaway, oh, I went to the pub, oh, we did this, oh, I ate 14 boxes of Ferrero Rochers, and look at me, I lost £1.5 pounds. That gets right on my nerves. I didn't want to do that to my group, but I shared the M&M story, and I said, because I was mindful that Naomi always says to us, if you had a bunch of 21 roses and one died, would you throw all 21 away or would you just pluck out the dead one? So I try and think like that. You know, I have 3 meals a day, nothing in between now. That's my lifestyle. I've got 21 meals in a week. Those M&Ms were tantamount to a meal for me because I had them Saturday evening, and because I had my breakfast late on a Saturday, my 3 meals on Saturday were my big breakfast, a big lunch, and then my lunch was about 5 o'clock, and then my M&Ms in the evening. So they counted as one of my 21 meals. 1 meal off plan, bang back on plan Sunday morning, which is what I have to do if I want to maintain a weight loss. And people laughed at me with my M&Ms and everything, but Naomi said, it proves my point. You know, it's when you go off plan, make a decision to go off plan, and you're very wavering about when you're going to get back on it. You've got to have a plan to get right back on plan. So if somebody asks you out for dinner, go out, enjoy your meal and everything, but don't get up the next morning and think, oh, I've blown it, I might as well blow it again today. Get back up the next morning, draw a line, start again, which is what I did, and I got my £0.5 weight loss. But she then went on to a couple of people and said, why are you not happy with what you've done this week? And they were saying, like, a couple of them had done exactly that, been determined not to eat eggs, but then caved in, but didn't stop at one. Once they'd, in their words, blown it, they continued to blow it. And if you do that on Easter Sunday and it spills over into Easter Monday, it can sometimes be Tuesday or Wednesday before you pick yourself up, draw a big line and start all over again. And several people had found themselves in that situation, but we've all learned from it. So we shared all this stuff. We had a really, really good group share and discussion about what behaviours we could adopt this week. And it is basically down to planning, shopping, preparing, being on the ball, isn't it? Because it's when we don't care enough about ourselves. If I don't care enough about myself because I'm tired, I've got decision fatigue, that's when I'm going to lose it. So I have to be on top of my shopping, on top of my planning, on top of my preparing. And it actually is quite easy. I hope I never come on here and say I found it really hard this week, because that's when I'm not on the ball. So we had a great meeting and we discussed loads of things that helped lots of people, and it was all very positive. We had visiting members from other groups, which I love when we get that. It's really, really nice. We had people coming back who have been at Target this time in the past, this time last year or the year before, and through different circumstances, but generally because they weren't eating on plan anymore, have come back heavier than when they first started. I'm not judging these people or criticising them. There, but for the grace of God go I. But the one thing I would say is, it's brilliant that they came back, because that's what really matters. Knowing you can come back, because we can all blow it. None of us are exempt from falling back into bad habits, and those habits are only that far away. You know, I had bad habits for 50 odd years. I've had good habits now for 2 years. So I would imagine my bad habits are still stronger than my good habits, but if I keep practicing the good ones, they'll get stronger. That is making a difference in my life today. And I love it. I put up a video about 10 days ago, what's in my freezer, and a couple of ladies who regularly comment both complimented me on actually seeing a fuller length shot of my body, because usually you see me from here up. So on Thursday I was getting ready to go shopping Thursday evening with my friend, and I said to Joe, will you take a full length picture of me so I can put it on my vlog, because this really is my target weight picture, because where I am now is where I intend to stay, here or hereabouts. So Joe actually did a full, well there's 3 pictures actually, a front view, a side view and a back view of me in the same outfit. I think I'm top to toe in size 12. The jeans might be a 10. I can't remember which jeans I was actually wearing, to be honest. But this picture was taken on Thursday, the 20th of April, the day before I had my hair cut. So yeah, got less hair. That could have been where the half-pound weight loss came from, couldn't it? But yeah, I just wanted to put that on here as a visual for where I'm at today. I'm always talking about my weight and what I weigh. So these are pictures of me. I'm 5'2", so you can see from those pictures that's just what I look like today. It's been really nice to make this video and have a chat with you all. It's a bit shorter today because we are pushed for time, but onwards and downwards, or onwards and target. I'm looking forward to another week on plan. I'm still excited by this plan. I don't find it boring. There's always something new to learn. There's always something new to read about. There's always something worth changing. And I'm always on the lookout for new fruit and veg. So back to my normal again this week. 1 or 2 A's and B's, 5 to 10 sins, and moderate amount of exercise. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Remember, works if you work it, won't if you don't. Or, as Naomi says, if you kind of do it, it kind of works. Bye.